And maybe the food was pretty good, but that wasn't the point. The one TV in the whole house barely got anything, and there was no McDonald's, no Chinese or pizza place that delivered, no friends, no park, no movie theaters, no video arcades. He might as well be in Russia or someplace. He glanced up from the Game Boy to look out the car window at what he considered a lot of nothing. Stupid mountains, stupid prairie, stupid trees. The same view, as far as he could tell, that had been outside the window since they'd left the farm. At least his grandparents had stopped interrupting his game to tell him stuff about what was outside the window. Like he cared about a lot of stupid settlers and Indians and soldiers who hung around out here before he was even born. Hell, before his prehistoric grandparents had been born. Who gave a shit about Crazy Horse and Sitting Bull shit? He cared about the X-Men and the box scores. The way Coop looked at it, the fact that the closest town to the farm was called Deadwood said it all. He didn't care about cowboys and horses and buffalo. He cared about baseball and video games. He wasn't going to see a single game in Yankee Stadium all summer. He might as well be dead, too. He spotted a bunch of what looked like mutant deer clomping across the high grass, and a lot of trees and stupid hills that were really green. Why did they call them black when they were green? Because he was in South Crappy Dakota, where they didn't know dick about squat. What he didn't see were buildings, people, streets, sidewalk vendors. What he didn't see was home. His grandmother shifted in her seat to look back at him. "Do you see the elk, Cooper?" "I guess." "We'll be getting to the Chance spread soon," she told him. "It was nice of them to have us all over for supper. You're going to like Lil. She's nearly your age." He knew the rules. "Yes, ma'am," as if he'd pal around with some girl. Some dumb farm girl who probably smelled like horse and looked like one. He bent his head and went back to Tetris so his grandmother would leave him alone. She looked sort of like his mother. If his mother was old and didn't get her hair done blonde and wavy and didn't wear makeup. But he could see his mother in this strange old woman with the lines around her blue eyes. It was a little spooky. Her name was Lucy, and he was supposed to call her Grandma. She cooked and baked. A lot. And hung sheets and stuff out on a line in the back of the farmhouse. She sewed and scrubbed and sang when she did. Her voice was pretty, if you like that sort of thing. She helped with the horses, and Coop could admit he'd been surprised and impressed when he'd seen her jump right on one without a saddle or anything. She was old. Probably at least 50, for God's sake. But she wasn't creaky. Mostly she wore boots and jeans and plaid shirts. Except for today. She'd put a dress on and left the brown hair she usually braided loose. He didn't notice when they turned off the endless stretch of road, not until the ride turned bumpier. When he glanced out, he saw more trees, less flat land, and the mountains roughed up behind them. Mostly, it looked like a lot of bumpy green hills topped over with bare rock. He knew his grandparents raised horses and rented them at trailheads to tourists who wanted to ride them. He didn't get it. He just didn't get why anybody would want to sit on a horse and ride around rocks and trees. His grandfather drove along the more dirt than gravel road, and Coop saw cattle grazing on either side. He hoped it meant the drive was nearly over. He didn't care about having dinner at the Chance farm or meeting dumb Lil. But he had to pee. His grandfather had to stop so his grandmother could hop out to open a cattle gate, then close it again when they'd gone through. As they bumped along, his bladder began to protest. He saw sheds and barns and stables. Whatever they were didn't matter. It was, as far as it went out here, a sign of civilization. Something was growing in some fields, and horses were running around in others like they didn't have anything better to do.